Alright, welcome to Simball. We're going to have some fun today. We're here at the Native Simboard facility, and we're going to be playing FS Simboarding. It is a game of tricks. Each boarder will get a round time of 1:30. There are 3 boarders. Our 3 boarders are Caden Sporg, Louis Zunn, and Cameron KO. They're going to be battling out for a few prizes today, which we'll get to later. And I'm your host, Rob Jackson, and this is the first event at Native Simboarding, and this is the first freestyle event in quite some time. Many more to follow, so remember, every Tuesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is SLT, Secondlife time. So come check this out. Pretty cool stuff. We're going to get started here fairly shortly, and we're going to have Caden Sporg get his board on the deck and get ready out there. Caden's going to try not to go out of bounds. Here is the out of bounds mark. If you guys can see the red there on the broadcast, I'll zoom out a little bit so you can get a better idea. The boarders cannot, of course, hit the net or go too far off to the right. Very few things are in play. So they're going to have to stay in the pipe, and they're going to have to do some tricks, and then they're going to get a score based upon how well they did. And any boarder with a score of 8 or over is going to be able to go pro boarder status. So with that ado, let's go ahead and get started here. Here goes Caden Sporg. He's going to get his first round in. And the go. Almost a false start there. I might have to call him, but I'm not going to. He goes up, does a twist. Goes up, does a double backflip, it looks like. Gets caught up on the deck a little bit, but that's okay. Jumps back into the pipe with a jump and a half roll. And comes down catching a little bit of friction. Oh, that must have been maybe a 720 there. I seen the 360s. Does a front flip onto the backboard. Oh, gives us a double backflip down and into the middle of a pipe. Goes for an inverted shot. Very nice, very nice. Caden Sporg. Another twist. Only a couple crashes so far. So far, a pretty smooth run. Oh, a few spins into a roll. Double backflip. He's got some nice custom tricks in his board. Does a little bit of a face plant there. That's a trick all in itself, right? Goes up, 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 and he's double backflip into a roll and hits the audience lounge over here. Bad, Caden, bad. 23 seconds left on the clock, and he's so high I can't see him. He goes on to the roof. Double backflip into the pipe, into a corkscrew, and back in again. Goes up, gives us a 720, 1080 with a reverse 360. Jumps up in the air with a backflip into a roll, and back down the other side. Goes way up, gets some major air for the time end, and we see a triple backflip, quadruple backflip, and he lands at pine. Nice ending by Caden Sporg with the triple backflip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the votes for everybody to vote. Everybody give Caden a score that is deserving. And I'll let you viewers see what I give Caden Sporg here. And we got 1 vote in. Everybody please put your votes in. Even if you're boarding over there, you can vote. Don't vote away your competition. Be sportsmanlike. Alright, we got a vote in by Cameron KO. He gives a 7. Any more votes? Come touch the puck. Give your vote. More votes, please. We need more than 2 votes. I will go 2 votes, but it'd be nice if we get another vote. Alright, Louis Sun gives an 8. We got at least 3 votes now, so I think we'll be good enough to go. Yes, the votes have been open, and we're going to go ahead and average that out and send it to the board and find out Caden's first score. Did we run out of votes? Why is it closed again? Who reset it? Please send in your vote again. Somebody decided to reset it. Hello, Quasivoro Dog. Nice of you to join us. Alright, go ahead and give your score one more time, guys. I'll just put in Lewis's for him. Oh wait, no I can't. We need one more vote. One more vote, people. Oh, let me tell Lewis here. I know he doesn't have... Okay. Alright. And I'm going to send that to the board. And he gets a 7. First score 7 for Caden Sporg. Next out on the deck is going to be Lewis Zunn. Lewis Zunn is a very, very veteran boarder. I've not seen him board in quite some time, so this is going to be very interesting. This guy's got a lot of style. He's been around simboarding for years and years, and he's going to come show you guys what he can do on camera for the first time in ages. Lewis Zunn's going to be rezzing his board out to the deck. I'm going to get our timer ready. He's ready to go. Let's give him some cheer here. And looks like he's got a red board. Oh yes, I remember this board. It's loading in here if you're watching on broadcast. Everything loads dynamically, kind of like an internet web page loads, so sometimes it takes a second. There we go. And he's got his old Skeleton Crew board on. That's something I haven't heard in a long time. We're going to get the timer started ready for him. Alright. Get ready in 3, 2, and 1. Lewis is ready to go. Lewis does a front flip into the pipe. He boosts up, 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 and he's got air. Does a front flip and goes on top of the audience lounge here. Looks like he's weaseling over towards the pipe, but he misses the grinding pipe. Goes up that far slide, gives us a 360 and comes back down facky. Lewis Zunn loves to go facky. Boosts up facky, does a slow turn and tries to land on the rail, comes down a little short and goes in nose first on the deck. That's going to hurt his score a little bit, but that's okay. Lewis's gun's got plenty of material to make this a high-scoring run for him. Does a backflip and boosts back down into the pipe, landing onto the deck. Lewis Zunn setting himself up. Front flip into the pipe again. Comes back up this near side. Does a 360. It's like he's trying to keep it nice and consistent to get some points on the board. Boarders will get 3 runs, and they will win based upon the highest score they got, or in the event of a tie, it will be the number of points they have altogether. Lewis Zunn re-entering the pipe again. Jumps in, gives us a grind on the scoreboard, and comes back down. Looks like he tries to aim himself up and comes back down into the pipe safely, and that's going to end his round. He stayed in the whole time, and we're going to be able to judge him on a full run. I'm going to open up the votes for Lewis Zunn. Everybody please feel free to give him a fair score. And I'm going to get my score in there. Here, everybody give Lewis a score there. Just click this puck here, give him a score from 1 to 10. How you think he did, huh? We got 3 votes in. Anybody else? Going once, going twice. 1 more vote, 2 more votes, 3 more votes, 8 more votes. No more votes? Am I going to have to send this to the board? We can do that. Alright. Average it out of 3. And it looks like he got a 6. That's going to put Lewis up for a 6. 1 point behind Caden Sporg, but it's far from over. Cameron Ko still got his chance to come up for the first round here, and we have not yet seen Cameron Ko get in the pipe for quite some time. So Cameron Ko is going to come out here and show us some A-class action. This is going to be interesting. Cameron Ko, definitely an old school boarder like Lewis Zunn. and Caden Sporg for that matter. So these are actually all old school boarders. So their skill is going to be a little bit better than somebody just fresh out there. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and let Cameron get ready there. Give him the get ready. I'm sure he's a little bit nervous. And he's up, and away. Gives a front flip into a roll. Lands it perfectly. Gives us 2 360s and back down into the pipe. Back up again. He's got some nice speed. Was that a double backflip into a raffle copter and comes back down? A little shy pipe. 360 into a roll and back down again. Cameron's on fire. Cameron's up again. A 360 into a roll. And up a raffle copter into a backflip into a roll, and it looks like he landed it just fine. Goes up for a 720. Back up the other side for a 1080 into a roll. Goes back up this side for a roll. Inverted, back down the other side. Cameron with a 360 into a roll again. He's on fire. He's got a lot of tricks just back to back. I don't think I can count the amount of tricks he's done. He does a front flip onto the scoreboard. Goes up and away with a couple back flips and a twisty roll down and almost out. Almost becomes our first out of bounds today. But he is all good. He's back up with a couple rolls and a twist again. Cameron's up, and wow, this guy's getting air. Does a backflip and a couple grabs and comes back down again. He's only got 10 seconds left, so he's going to try and impress us all. Does a 360, gets some super air. He's way up. He's got 1 second left. We will count his last trick. He does like a barrel roll, many barrel rolls, and back down again. And it looks like he landed it. Good run by Cameron KO. He's probably going to get a decent score for that. I thought that was a pretty good run. Alright, I'm going to open up the votes for Cameron KO. He did a good job there to end the first run. I know exactly what I'm going to give Cameron KO. Everybody can go ahead and give Cameron your vote. Cameron needs your votes there. Cameron did a good run out there, and he's hoping for some love. By the way, the votes, everybody votes on this right here, and then what it does is it averages the votes. So if you're here watching, you can help determine who's going to win the game. And we got 2 votes in. Hopefully we can get one more. Looks like some people are getting an already voted message. Okay, there we go. Wow, Lewis Zun coming in real generous with a 9. Anybody else? We got 3 votes. Anybody else want to cast their vote? That's okay. Alright, we'll average that out and we'll send it to the board and we'll find out what he got. Looks like he got an average score of 8, so we got a 7-6-8 for the first round. That's putting Cameron KO in the lead by 1, and the 2 followers not far behind. Lewis Zun with a 6 in 3rd place and Caden Sporg with a 7. We still got 2 more rounds to go, so it's still anybody's game. But that 8's really going to put a high mark to beat out there. Next up, of course, is going to be Caden Sporg. He's out there getting on his board, getting ready. Thanks everybody coming down. Remember, you come down to Native every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We're going to be doing more FS competitions. If you know about Simball or you want to know about Simball, then come down on Thursday. Alright, we're going to get this round started here and let Caden Sporg do his thing. Get a time start here. Get ready. Minute 30 on the clock. Minute 35 only because of the countdown. And we're ready to go. He jumps into the pipe with a backflip into a roll and goes face plant. Whoa, yeah! Gets back into the pipe. And he's cool. He's getting real slick on that snow and ice in that pipe. Gets on top of the lounge here. Does a backflip into the pipe and a barrel roll back down in. Oh, I can't even count how many turns he did, but he does a few turns into a roll. Goes inverted and gives us a couple backflips and comes back down the other side. Goes up and goes way up again, doing a front flip, going inverted this time. That was crazy. Not an easy maneuver to pull. That's going to add some difficulty points. Does a nice 360 into a grab. Haven't seen too many grabs taken advantage of. Ooh, does a nice twist onto the scoreboard. Caden is bringing the fire. Caden is bringing the fire. A couple 360s back down into the pipe. Says my first run was conservative. Does a few more 360s into a rolling back down. Solid run so far. Goes way up for some major air. There's a Rafflecopter twist. Super Rafflecopter comes back down. And ooh, hurts his back a little bit coming down, but he's okay. There's a backflip into the pipe, back down into a roll. Jumps up for the scoreboard, doing a front flip and making contact. Gets on top of the scoreboard and spins it and brings it back down, back into the pipe. Very nice by Caden Sporg. This guy is Tony Hawk on steroids. Comes back down, does a little butt rub on the deck there. Oh, comes up, does a roll, lands on the deck again. He's getting excited for the end of the round, and he's going to have, ooh, a timeout right before he goes out of bounds. I'm not even going to count that because it was right at the last second. He didn't even touch the ground at the last second, so we're not going to count him out of bounds, but that was very close for Caden Sporg. That will be a full run. And we're going to go ahead and open up the votes for Caden's second run, a very good run at that. I think I'm going to have to give him a slightly better score this time. Everybody feel free to give Caden your votes there. He did an excellent run. Oh, we got an 8 coming in from Cameron KO and a 7 coming in from J2 Drum Dreadlow. And is that all our scores? And we got an 8 coming in from Lewis Zun too. Lewis Zun thought that was pretty good. Alright. Looks like we got 4 votes in. I think that'll be enough. I will average these out and send them to the board. Looks like we got an average of 8, and that's going to tie him up with Cameron KO for a high score of 8. Right on. Well, this is looking like it's going to be tooth and nail already, so we'll find out who comes through in the end. Next up, 2 board, of course, is going to be Lewis Sun. Is he going to go out there and get an 8 also? He is definitely capable, and I would definitely like to see that happen, so go get him, Lewis. Bringing out the skeleton board. Let's do this, gangster. I'm going to start this time. In 3, 2, 1. Pressure's on. Lewis Zun hearing the bell. And he's kind of out there. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. I don't know if he knows he's supposed to go yet. Okay, he's aware now. Lewis Zun up in the air. Does a few turns into a slow turn. That's good style. That's good style. Did some fast turns into a slow turn. Goes up for the scoreboard. 30 seconds already down for him. Holds on to it. Keeps his grip. Goes inverted into a Rafflecopter. Comes back down into a backflip. Nicely pulled off. Goes up in the air with a slow turn and comes back down facky. Boosting it up and getting some major air. Gives us a slow turn. You'll notice he threw in a spice of fast turn in there too. Lewis is a big guy about style. He wants to get in there and give a good show. He's not necessarily worried about doing the most combinations in a row as long as it looks good. You know, sometimes it's all about how you dress it. Comes back down with a unique maneuver and a board grab coming in. Comes up the other side with a 360, setting himself up for another big trick. Does a half turn. He might be just trying to get himself some solid scores on the board. Oh, hits a grab. Catches a bit of a kidney shot on the side of the pipe there. Goes back up facky. Facky maneuvers are not easy to pull off. And that's going to be the time end. A conservative run for Lewis Zun. Went out there and showed us some great tricks. Nobody can say Lewis didn't go out there and rip it. Alright, I'm going to open up the votes. And okay, everybody's allowed to give their score now. Votes are open. Give Lewis Zun a score of 1 to 10. Definitely not a 1, definitely not a 10. He did alright out there. He did fairly mediocre. I think he didn't let out the, I don't think he let down his guard completely. I think he was trying to get some points on the board. So we'll see where that lands him with a score. He did have style out there, that's for sure. I'm going to put my score in. I think he got a 7. I'm going to send those to the board. We're going to average that out. See what he got. And it looks like he got an average score of 7, so that's 6-7. Moving on up, one more up, and he'll be tied with the other 2 at the end. Next up, of course, is going to be Cameron KO. It was leading the last round heading out of it. Caden Sporg has caught up, so we will see what he can do with this round. It looks like he's got his old school Cameron board on. That is a very old board skin. Oh, and he tricks my camera and comes down into the pipe with a roll. Gives us a few 360s into a roll again. Back up the other side. Gives us a grab. And does a roll into the pipe. Whoa, lose my camera. Backflip into a nice grab and up the medium of the pipe. On the other side of the pipe. Cameron KO with a lot of rolls there. I hope he doesn't get too dizzy. Not too dizzy to land it. He lands it and he's back in. Because it's a grab into a backflip. Nice. We're seeing some nice combos here by Cameron KO. Does the 360 into a grab. Not quite as daring as Caden Spork, but he's definitely got a couple more cleaner combos. So far it's looking pretty neck and neck. Yeah, 360 into a roll and back in again. Looks like he's got that aligned very well. By the way, if you guys do not know these sim boards, you can maneuver them in any axis. That's a lot of board freedom, and with that freedom comes, it's very hard to control also. With a lot of movement freedom comes the complexity in control, so if you haven't sim boarded before, you can't fully have the amount of respect you probably should for how good these boarders are boarding. These boards are not easy to control, and they really give you every option. And with every option comes some complication. And it looks like he's coming down to his last trick here. He's on top of the scoreboard, and he jumps into the pipe with a backflip. Nice run by Cameron KO. Not too many mess-ups at all, so we're going to have to call that a very, very solid run. I'm going to go ahead and open up the votes here for everybody to vote Cameron KO's awesome run. A lot of style there. I think I'm going to have to top that right up with his last run. That's what it was looking like. It was a pretty good run. So I'm going to give him a score. I'm not going to tell everybody yet. If you were watching my screen, you saw it. Alright, looks like Dreadlow gives him a 1. Hey, hold on. I'm going to reset this. Dreadlow. Why did he do that? Okay. Hold on. Vote reset. Vote reset. We had a bad score. It's okay. If my vote reset will work here. What's going on here? Okay. Votes have been reset. Alright, we got one score in. I'll give my score again. No wrong buttons, guys. No wrong buttons. Put in your score again, please. Welcome to the new people here. Rosie and Hagbird and Quasavaro and J2 Drum. Coming in a little bit late, but here to watch the great competition. Yeah. This event is taking place live on the internet in Secondlife. If you guys ever want to come join us, it's free to watch. And Rosie said she should be sleeping. Alright, we got a few scores in. We got 3 votes. Has everybody got their vote in? I did have to restart it, so if you were not able to get your vote in, I apologize. I had to reset them due to a fat finger. Alright, we got 3 going once, going twice. Average and send to the board. Cameron comes up with an average of 7. Not quite as impressive, obviously, to the crowd as his last run, but that's going to tie him up pretty much directly with Caden Sport going into this 3rd round. Still anybody's game, so we'll see what Caden Sport can do. I'm going to give him the time start because I'm sure he's nervous out there on the deck. Got that stage fright. When you're in there boarding for a round timer, you've got everybody else watching you, and it's being recorded. There's a little bit of pressure going on, but he can deal with that pressure just fine, it looks like. Getting a little bit nose sticky there. He's alright. He's got a really neat trick for a spin. He's like skipping with the board. It's like it's like the river dance. I call it the river dance trick. I know he probably wouldn't refer to it as the river dance trick, but I call it the river dance trick. Anyway, he does the front flip onto the backboard, and he comes back down inverted with a nice trick. Goes back up. Caden Sport with a lot of speed. Gives a spin one way and a couple spins back the other. And goes way, way up. Is he going to land out of bounds? No, he brings it back in. I was a bit scared for his life there. Does a jump into a back roll and back in again. Does a double front flip into a roll down the other side. Nice trick. Gives us a few more skips. I think that might be a 720 into a front flip. Comes back up this near side. Does a front flip onto the top of the banister, the area here. And gets a lucky land. I don't think he meant to land that, but it was a beautiful trick there. Give us like a spin into an inverted roll. There's a front flip onto the scoreboard. Again, it seems to be a popular move today. Front flip onto the scoreboard. Gets on top of the scoreboard and rides that guy around. He's got 10 seconds left. I think he's going to try and pull one more big trick. Gets some major air. Gives us 1 backflip, 2 backflip, 3 backflip, 4 backflip. And he's back in the pipe again with 1 second remaining. And he's just going to do a super spin into a roll. Wow, it looked pretty comparable to Cameron KO's last run, but I'll let the voters decide. And that was a very good run, and I think he did a good job. Not bad for a third run. He's going to definitely have some solid points on the board. I'm going to open up the votes to let everybody score, and everybody give Caden what you think he deserves. I personally thought his second round was better. That's just me. Tyro comes in with a 9, Lewis gives an 8, Cameron gives a 7. Any more votes? Votes are open. Closing votes in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to average those out and send them to the board. That will be Cameron's or Caden's last run. And it looks like he got a score of 8, so that's 2 8s and a 7. Ooh, Lewis Sun up next. He's going to need a 9 to take home the gold. He can take an 8 and possibly score with Cameron KO depending on how the run goes. But we will have to see. Lewis Sun out there coming out with the skeleton board. Let me get a close-up of Lewis Sun so everybody can check this guy out. This guy's pretty cool. It looks like he's looking for his board, and he rests it. He hops on. He's ready to go. Alright. Looks like he's set up, ready for the time start. I'll give him the get ready, the get set, and the go. Oh, and that's an interesting move. He digs his front of the nose end and he boosts backwards to make his entry into the pipe. That's very creative. Definitely a bonus point for that one. Does a nice facky spin, goes up. Ooh, comes up a little bit short of the top deck here, but that's okay. He's on the wall, and he's gonna ride by the audience window here by us, and gives a rafflecopter into the pipe and a back roll, which was pretty sweet looking from my angle. Comes up the pipe, gives a grab and a front flip, and stalls on the deck. Grabs, throws his nose down, and enters the pipe again. Goes up for a scoreboard ride. Gives us a nice trick figure on there, and another trick coming down in with a rafflecopter down into the other side of the pipe. That was beautiful. Gives a fast spin into a slow spin. Very nice. Comes back up the other side, facky. I think Lewis Sun's going for an 8. I think this guy's going for an 8. And he comes back down in, does the rafflecopter, and comes in halfway through the pipe. Does a grab up, goes for the roll. Comes back down in. It's a little shaky coming up this side again, but will he be okay? Comes around the rail, narrowly almost getting knocked off the edge. Lewis Sun going up, 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 and away he goes onto the scoreboard again. Aims himself, and this trick's looking similar to his last. He's got one last trick left into a rafflecopter. Will he land it? And he lands his last trick. Great run by Lewis Sun. Very proud of him. I think that was an awesome run. Yeah, and you can tell he's pretty excited about that one, doing a couple tricks after the fact. Lewis Sun, very happy about his run. I'm going to open up the votes. I think Lewis Sun did a great job there. It does take a score of 8 to become a pro boarder. This is the first competition, and I think we might see all pro boarders here today, which doesn't surprise me. I've known these boards for a while, and they're really good. Ooh, 9 coming in from Tyro. Caden Sport gives a 6. Cameron KO gives an 8. J2 Drum gives an 8 also. Every 5 votes in. Closing in 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll average them out and send them to the board. And it looks like he got an 8. Not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. Cameron KO will be out for our last run tonight. And he's got his board spawned and ready. This will be the last run. Everybody peep Cameron KO battling Caden Spork for first. What do we got going on here? We've got a tie. He's going to need an 8 to tie him. And he's going to need a 9 to beat him. A 7 will land him in second. So we'll see what Cameron KO can do here. Pressure is on Cameron. We have not seen a single wipeout yet. Not a single person land outside of the pipe. He's got the 3, 2, 1 to go and a front flip into the pipe. And he's in. Does a nice little twist to start himself off. Goes up with a double twist into a roll. Goes back up again with a back flip into a roll down onto the other side. We're coming in a little bit faster this run. Gives us a roll to grab the... Oh, no, almost misses the scoreboard and he saves himself. He could have been out early that run. Keeps it steady here. I think he's trying to make sure he keeps an even, balanced run. You do not want to lose all your points this round. Ooh, and he gives a nice backflip into a roll back down into the pipe. Double backflip into a roll. Cameron KO is definitely going to need some more variety. Gives us a double roll from a spin into a double roll. Gives us a double backflip into a spin coming down. And he lands in the middle of the pipe on his butt. He's back up again with a spin and a roll. Spin and roll is real basic. You can keep some mediocre points doing that. Ooh, and he decides to go facky. That was definitely planned. And whoa, he's way up. I can barely see him. How many rolls is he going to do? I think he had at least 3 rolls and 2 backflips into another roll. Skims off the rail a little bit and comes back down into the pipe. That was pretty sweet looking. Cameron KO. He's got the Leroy Jenkins board sound for his boost. Every time this guy boosts, he gets Leroy Jenkins out there. His last trick right there wasn't all too impressive, but a good run, a solid run. And I'm going to let everybody decide what he deserves on that one. I'm going to open up the votes. Let everybody give their votes. For the last run of the evening, this will determine who's going to be the winner. We've got 1 vote in. Tyro gives us 7. I'm going to have to give a 7 also. I think that was a very good run, but I think he's going to have to pull a few more stops to beat Caden Spork's last run. Alright, looks like we've got a pretty good consensus on 7s here. Total votes of 5, and I'm going to go ahead and end the vote count in 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll send those to the board. And you got an average of 7. That's going to put, let's see, all 3 boarders with a high score of 8. And since everybody tied for a high score, it's going to come out to the total amount of points. And that's going to be Caden Spork. Very close match too, 23, 22, 21. That is very, very close. It doesn't get much closer than that. And so we will have Caden Spork in first, Lewis Zun in third, and Cameron KO in second. Let's go over to the winners' podiums here, and we will give away prizes. Thanks everybody for joining me today on the broadcast. The prizes will not be filmed, no really need. And come in next week, Tuesday, 5 o'clock SLT, Pacific Standard Time. And maybe we'll see you out here boarding, or maybe you can just come down and show your support for the boarders. Rob over and out.